Again, welcome everybody to what a day looks like training for Prosharp machinery. Just press the slide presentation to full screen. Hope you guys all can see that clearly. We just wanted to bring you guys in, and thanks for joining us, and just letting you know that we're here in full capacity. We're just not here to sell machines. We're here to make sure you guys are successful with our machinery, and that's most important to us. And there's a couple of ways that we can execute this, and what we're going to go through is just what we take you through, essentially why we want to transfer our knowledge to you, is just make, like I said before, make you guys successful in running your machinery. We have a lot of years of knowledge, 3 decades, and we can even dive into the figure skating component of the Prosharp machinery. Also, part of the training will be how to set up your shop properly to execute what make sure it's going to run efficient, where one man can run multiple machines. We'll get into a little bit of how to sell the Prosharp profiling to your customer base, and then obviously executing a proper profile on the machinery, and then selling the profiles, and how to maintain your machine, and if there's any issues or proper maintenance for the machine, how to keep your machine running and executing in a proper way. I went through a couple of these points earlier, but some of the students we worked with in the past: Pure Hockey, Monkey Sports, Source for Sports, Pro Hockey Life in Canada, the Swedish national team. Ryan himself has gone out to visit multiple colleges to get them up to speed with our profiling knowledge. We've worked with Bauer with the profiling knowledge, how to run the machine, the philosophy, testing blades. We also work with multiple National Hockey League teams, going out, testing the players, executing the proper use of the machinery. So we just dive deep into a lot of different categories here. As far as the material overview, what we like to say in the Prosharp way is to make sure that we have the proper lead guy, if you will, in your shop or in a big store chain, is to make sure that we have the proper guy that knows all the knowledge and the facts about our system. And we do have a PowerPoint presentation that we share with you that you can take home if you visit, or if we go to your location. I think it's 72 slides deep, and essentially it's going to cover how to train the sharpeners, if that's the guy's only job is to sharpen the skates, how to train the profilers, train the Prosharp profiling sales staff, how to do the periodic service on the machines, and then any problems handling the machines. We have all these documents made for the customers, for you guys. And we also have different layers of support. Essentially, we have the easy cue cards to read with all the machineries, and that's for machineries and the consumables, accessories. We have the 70 videos, 70 plus videos, and it's growing daily, weekly, if you will, on YouTube, and it's called Prosharp World, where you can see the support with profiling, sharpening, and periodic maintenance. Then we also have a PowerPoint presentation on issues with the machine, root causes, and what to do next. Whether you can fix that on your own, or whether that next call would be to Ryan here, the Chief Technical Officer, to support you. We also have PDFs on your point of sale, in layman's terms, if you will, for the moms and dads and the customers that it's difficult for them to understand Prosharp profiling. We've simplified the knowledge and the language for them to understand. So we have those PDFs for you guys to take home and print out and have it at your point of sale. So we find those tools really useful. As far as following the guidelines, I'm going to let Ryan take over here. a little bit, just say a little bit about what can be established here as far as following the guidelines?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can use the resources that we provide in terms of how to operate with the machines. Obviously, there's some issues that arise in questions that people have right out the gate in terms of whether it's strictly talking about sharpening, profiling, even machine maintenance, whatever it might be. The biggest thing I can recommend to anybody that starts out with the machines is really not to tinker and play with anything until you know what those machines can do. Especially new machines that people buy. A lot of the times, when there's just a basic story is a customer purchased a machine, he started dressing the wheel, got a bunch of sharpenings done, a bunch of profiles done, and then all of a sudden the machine started acting up and he couldn't figure out why. And instead of calling or going through our support videos on YouTube, he decided to try to tinker with the machine and unscrew some bolts. And he threw his machine out of calibration when in all reality, he should have just changed the wheel because the grinding wheel was too small. So it's very important for you guys to use the guidelines that we recommend. I mean, obviously there's some tricks of the trade that we teach through these training processes. So please reach out if you guys have questions regarding that.
So again, just expanding on this slide here, all these information video we have with QR codes on each machine, the AS series and the skate pal. So all you would have to do is scan your phone and bring up the proper video for you to execute and learn more about what you need support with. And then of course, I just clicked on something, so we're changing screens a little bit as far as diving deeper into the business of it. And just
Sure.
I didn't share. No, it didn't. Sorry. So back here. It didn't click over and share. So anyways, we do have the, go back here. Sorry, guys. And we do have the proper business case built out with all the information as far as how many sharpening it does. So you'll go home with a full case manual Ryan put together here. As far as understanding deeper into the training. And again, he touched briefly on the periodic maintenance. We built out the periodic maintenance manual as far as like signing off, the staff member signing off when, you know, the machine should be cleaned and serviced, the belts, the cable wires, etc. We'll go through all that, and then you can go home with a chart of how to maintain that and make sure your staff members are signing off in a proper way to keep the machine in good standing. Next part of the training while you're here would be the on-ice component, which is very important to understand how to sell the profiles proper. So we'll go through essentially taking you on ice, and you don't even have to bring your skates if you want. You're welcome to bring your skates if they're Bauer. We use the Bauer edge holders for quick release. But we take you through a basic profile as far as the radii. We take you to a Hudson series, which is a glide surface, and then we take you to a dual test, which is a 9.5, 10.5 we have. So it's called the Win series, and then we go into the Superior series, which is a 3 radii profile, and then you can test the quad radii and the ellipse, the new ellipse profile. So you don't just try them. We have a target page that we want you to understand deeper. We don't tell you the performance of these profiles. We want you to write down after each time you step on the ice with the testing of the blades, how you feel on each of those profiles and what support it gives you, whether it supports your acceleration, your transition, your speed, or your stability on those particular profiles. So your understanding gets a lot deeper to lead into when how to sell the profiles in your shop. And we also have tools in the shop for you to for easy instructions and how to dial in different profiles for different skaters. We found this puck works well for dialing in the skaters' particular profile, whether they want more acceleration, less acceleration, more stability, less stability, more glide or less glide, things like that. Another way that we'll show you how to execute is just, naming players. A lot of players want to skate on the same profiles as a particular NHL star. So we have that laid out for you also. And then we also have the the fine tuning of the more knowledgeable staff members, how to essentially adjust, fine tune, and then pick your profile. So that those are probably about 10-15 slides of diving deeper into the really knowledgeable profiling staff member that wants to execute that, and how to choose those particular profiles. And again, we can give you different business cases. I touched on this last time I spoke to you, but different business cases in US and Canada, how to support your shop, how many, what's your volume, and we can tell your ROI on the machine if you chose to move forward with us. So we're always here for that, to support you with your business case. In our location where you'd come training to us is located 45 minutes down the Mass Pike in Worcester, Massachusetts. Nice new facility here where, it's really comfortable. We have 2 ice sheets. We have multiple vendors in the building. We have multiple colleges playing out of this facility. Easy transportation to get here. Uber is a easy, affordable service to get down here. I think it's $60 one way to get down the Mass Pike. And then we have local accommodations. Typical training would be 1.5, 2 days, depending how deep you wanted to dive into learning our philosophy. And then, of course, we have accommodations within walking distance. I think a block and a half. We have the Hilton Garden and AC hotels, and then some wonderful restaurants around the area for feeding us in the noon hour, and then in the evening at our training days. So. Pretty neat, brand new location here in Worcester, Massachusetts, and that's where our office is located. Obviously, in today's environment, we have to think outside the box and how to support our customer base with alternative training methods. Of course, our last customer, a big box chain, was Monkey Sports, and we trained them over Zoom calls during the pandemic. Because they did move forward just on the opening of the pandemic. So we had multiple Zoom calls with them. We didn't do it all at once because it was a lot of material to cover. We did it in kind of baby steps, if you will. We went through the profiling. We went through the sharpening. Then we revisited them with the profiling. Then we went back again. So we took 3 Zoom calls and we went through the business case and how to sell the profiling. So a little bit different ways. And then, of course, we're able to visit you like Ryan did. I mentioned earlier, he went out to the multiple colleges, and all we asked from those customers was to cover our transportations, our accommodations, and our food. And then we'll come out and train you. But of course, in today's environment, that method is not easily accessible for us right now at this juncture until we get better guidelines that we can travel outside without being quarantined for 14 days on each end of our travel. So that's a little bit about what our training days kind of would look like. I know some of you might have questions here with regard to that. If you do, please just post. We can stay on here for a little bit longer. I didn't want to take a whole lot of time of your guys' day, but I wanted to let you guys know that we are out here for you guys to make sure that you're going to be very, very successful with the Prosharp machinery. I'll wait a couple of minutes to take any questions here. I'm just filtering through on my phone to see if there's any questions. Thank you, Patrick. It's a nice compliment. Question, will you be in Edmonton in the future? Dave Carlson. Dave, I think you'd reach out to Joey here. I'm not sure when he was scheduled to go up to Edmonton for a sales call, but if you organize a time, I think he'll be more than happy to support you in Edmonton. By all means, guys, please feel free. And again, when I mentioned in the business case, I want to revisit that we have the payment plans for our machinery now, which is very reasonable cost. The AS 2001 would be priced in at around $230 for 60 months. So that's a very good ROI on that particular machinery. That's going to be around 300 profiles, and your machinery is paid back. Ryan, you have anything to add as far as the training, as what we'd be?
No, I mean, obviously, I just touch on the service side of things, guys. I know right now it's tough to obviously go through the different states here, at least in the US, travel-wise, but we have a lot of good videos on YouTube that kind of walk you through the basics of obviously parts that need to be temporarily changed, the wearable parts essentially. Yes, there's some deeper questions in terms of calibration and stuff like that. We can support you via Skype or Zoom to kind of help support you right now with regards to that. There are people sending machines in for service. Obviously, when the machines come in, we take pictures of what's in the box. We put it down on a piece of paper, and then we go through the basics in terms of what the customer asks to be checked and what we would recommend in terms of changing stuff like that. It's kind of like servicing a car essentially, but the downtime is probably about a week or so right now with regards to getting your machine back in the mail in terms of transit.
So last thing here, guys, with no questions filtering through, I'm just going to show you the office a little bit just to let you know that we're here for you, where you'll be coming to train. So we have all the machinery ready to go to train with, right? So we'll walk over here. We got the AS 1001, and then into the big Cadillac, the 2001. That'll be your money maker here in the shop. And we have the Prosharp home machine, and then the skate pal, and then all our consumables in a display case. And through the double doors here will be our little service area, and then all the machinery in stock, ready to rock and roll, and all the consumables ready to ship out. So fully operational office here, guys. Thank you again for joining us today on this Tuesday, our weekly webinars. Join Joey and John up in Canada again for their next webinar. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Shayne at prosharp.com for training, or Ryan at prosharp.com. So just making sure I didn't miss any questions here filtering through. Thanks, Chris, for the compliment. Thank you, Dan. That's all for our office here. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday.